Are you ready to start? That is quite a shit introduction, isn't it, really? So what we'll do is we'll pretend this is live at the Apollo, and I'll announce myself on, and some of you will sit there still stony-faced looking, what the hell are we doing here? But hopefully some of you will smile and laugh. Is that all right? Yeah. And then we'll get started. So imagine you're live at the Apollo at Hammersmith, and you haven't had to come through Tewkesbury to get here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to wherever the fuck we are, Tewkesbury Sailing Club, and give it up for your host, Nick Hill! See, that's much better, isn't it? You did really well there, and let me just look round and take this in, because this is quite bizarre, I've got to be honest. I've done 3 gigs this week. We did the Freemasons on Wednesday, and I thought they were strange. Don't worry, Mr. Commodore, we'll come to you in a minute. Commodore. Doesn't even look like Lionel Richie, does he? Nothing. Absolutely nothing like. So let me just introduce myself. My name's Nick Hill. I'm your MC for the evening, and can we just clear that up? That doesn't stand for miniature chap. Right? My job is just to chat to you initially, warm you up, and then introduce the acts. And we got 3 fantastic acts for you tonight. We'll have your first act on, and then we'll have a break, and then we'll have your second act and a break, and then your headline act. Is that all right? Yes. It doesn't matter if it's not all right, because that's what's happening. Whilst the acts are on, the bar will be closed, but you'll have plenty of time in between to get a drink or go outside to vape or go and have a swim, I guess, whatever it is. And yeah, just looking round, this is awkward. Quite an unusual front row, I have to say. Part of me thinks you two should be sat by the defibrillator. And then at the other end of the row, we've got fucking Anton Deck from Biker Grove. But to be fair, Tewkesbury Sailing Club, I'm really pleased you know these little 2 are in here tonight, and you've done something about it in case they're disturbed by anything that happens, because you've got a poster up here, NSPCC. So if anybody upsets you tonight, ring Childline and just say the person that's upset me most is Richard Durston, and he'll be locked up again. So this is great. Thanks for coming out on a Saturday night. This is really, I never knew this place existed. It's lovely, and it's nice to see the fact that, you know, specific advertising has been done for tonight and really built the comedians up. Because I think Bose did. Did you do were you responsible for this? I love this on your face. I love this book on your Facebook page, and stupidly I was allowed access to it. Comedy night, Saturday the 15th of July 2023. Come and have a laugh at one of our 4 comedians. Just the one, is it? The thing is, you're all laughing at me now, so the other 3 might as well go home. No, this is great. So we did a gig Wednesday night to Freemasons, and I know there might be a couple of Freemasons in here, and I mean they're all right, I suppose, but they sent us an email about because we're Freemasons, can you tone down your language, can you change your material and everything like that. And Freemasonry started off in the Middle Ages as stonemasons travelling around the country looking for work. So they worked in the construction industry, and as we all know, construction workers, probably the most foul-mouthed people in the world. But we were just chatting about it, and somebody said, well, have you ever thought about being a Freemason? And I don't know what you know about Freemasonry, but I couldn't become a Freemason, because one of the things you have to do is you have to believe in a supreme being, right? I don't believe in any supreme being. As my wife pointed out, there's only one supreme being I need to worry about. And I couldn't be doing with all their rules and regulations. Just right, on their current website, 176 pages of rules and 208 different regulations. I mean, that's ridiculous, isn't it? What, no association should have that many rules. Would you all agree? Yeah. Right, fucking Tewkesbury Sailing Club, let's have a look at yours. It's out there in the public domain. You've been quite crafty, actually, because when I looked at it first of all, there was only 17 pages, and I thought, well, compared to the Freemasons, that's pretty good. And when I looked again, it looked like you only had 35 rules. But what you've done, on pages 1 to 9, there's about 30 rules, and on pages 10 to 17, you've divided it up into Appendix A, B and C, and there's another 65 fucking rules on there. 100 rules just to float a little boat in some water. Do you really? Really? Is that on? And I don't know who made these rules up. Was it you two? You made that? Did you write all 100 rules? You must have been so fucking bored one day. Is that? I mean, okay, right. And we might see a mass exodus in a minute. It'll be interesting. 1.3, proof of membership. Every member shall be prepared upon request by the duty officer to produce their membership card. Who in here is a member, just by a show of hands? Who's got their membership card? One! Is it? What? You haven't even got one? Yeah, fantastic. 14A. I think you've been on the gym when you wrote this one. Strap in. Any member who has not paid their subscription by the 28th day of January shall be requested in the name of the General Committee to pay the same by the 28th day of February. If their subscription be not paid by the 28th day of February, their name will be removed from the list of members by the General Committee. A member's name may be restored at the discretion of the General Committee. If a member's name is restored after the 31st day of March, their membership number, together with all entitlements to seniority, shall be forfeited, and a new membership number will be allocated unless representation is made to the committee prior to this date. What the fuck were you on writing that? Was it a quiet day at the office that day? You wrote that one, did you? Oh dear, brilliant! Oh, just absolutely, I love it. And I mentioned that the Freemasons do. Obviously, it's been quite an upsetting week this week with the story of Hugh Edwards. I was gutted because I had 50 quid at 66 to 1. It was on Fiona Bruce. And he's come out saying blame it on mental health, which obviously that's really upsetting. Not upsetting enough for him to say no to his 25 grand increase in salary this year, taking him to 425,000 of taxpayers' fucking money, but still, bless him, mental health's a serious... I didn't know whether to do that bit, but it's... And clearly by the response, there's a lot of Hugh Edwards fans in here. So the other thing we did on Wednesday night at the Freemasons gig, because they are so, what's the right terminology, up themselves, was we did a little quiz. And I thought it would be nice, as you're all sailing club members with no membership cards, to see what your knowledge of sailing is like. So I've just got 10 little questions. Is that all right? Should we do?
Oh dear.
Oh dear indeed. Number 1, and just anybody can shout these out. Apart from harbour, Port means what?
Left.
Brilliant, well done. Or for some of you, the amount of drink you consume daily, I suspect. Number 2, which colour indicates starboard?
Green.
Well done, that man. Listen to that. Number 3, a sailing vessel having 2 masts, the aft being taller than the front mast is called a what?
Schooner.
Can you see what's happening here? We've got the oldest bloke in the room. Now, all the young ones at the back are going, I haven't got a clue. I really...
Get him on mastermind.
Get him on mastermind. This one's quite interesting. I think the ladies might know this one. True or false? A sailing vessel is said to be in irons when it is stationary and pointing directly towards the wind direction with its sails flapping.
True.
True, yeah. I think that was a hint towards bondage, which is probably why you were quite so vociferous. We'll only do a couple more. A rope used to hoist or lower a sail is called a what? Yeah, you know what you're talking about, don't you? About 3 of you. Again, this is a true or false one. When describing navigation lights, a colting refers to lights which are defective. Is that true or false?
False.
False. Because I think we all know a colting refers to something that goes on in Priors Park every Saturday night. All right, by show of hands, how many people in this club live on Priors Park? 1! Do you? No. Well, I know John does, but he's not a member of the club. Yeah, no, it's nice having such a mixed demographic in here of all white people.
We are getting systematic ones.
You don't have to. It's not compulsory. We are getting some coloured ones. Possibly the most offensive. Oh dear. I mean, John's halfway there with that tan. He's doing well. Oh my God. I've got to go home tonight, and my wife, she asked me after every gig, what was the gig like? And I've got to be honest, after tonight, I don't know what I'm going to tell her. I've been doing comedy for 20 years, and I had a good year last year. I went to the Leicester Comedy Festival, and I won the Silver Stand-Up of the Year award. It sounds far better than what it actually is. It's basically a competition aimed at the over 55s, right? But you had to do a little bit more than that. And I got through to the final. I did 5 minutes and I won. And I phoned my wife. I said, you'll never guess. After 4 years of trying, I've only gone and won. And she's like, what have you won? Now, you will have worked out from her accent that I am married to a lady from Mumbai. And I said, I've won a trophy. She said, anything else? I said, no. So like, I'm back home about 2 hours later, and I'm showing her this trophy. She said, well, that's very nice, but have you won anything else? No, it's just this trophy. I've been on the website. Oh, God, have you? She said, what about the £500 cash prize they were advertising? I was gutted, because I had that lined up for something else. And she was like, what have I told you all through our marriage? To be honest, there's been so many things it's hard to remember. She said, never ever lie. And she's right, of course, you shouldn't lie. That said, she went on a cruise at the end of April last year, and she phoned me on the Wednesday. Are you missing me? I remember what she said, never lie. So I was like, absolutely not. She started clutching at straws. She's like, I bet the dog's missing me. He wasn't. Me and him, we were having a fantastic time. He was sleeping on the bed, I was feeding him from the table, we were down the pub every night. We went and got tattoos, well I did, and it got to about the Friday and he was sat there looking at me, and I know he can't speak, but he was just sat there and I could read his mind. He was like, oh Dad, this is brilliant, isn't it? Yeah. Just me and you? Yeah. Why don't we move and not tell her? We can't do that. We can't do that. But the competition was a couple of days after Valentine's Day, and we celebrated Valentine's this day. Me and my wife of 20 years. And by that I don't mean I'm married to a 20-year-old. That would be fucking brilliant. But we were sat there and she said, can you remember how we first met? I said, well, vaguely. She said, well, you had an advert in the Lonely Hearts column. I said, did I? She said, yeah, in fact you had 2. But I only replied to 1. I said, why was that? She said, well, on the second one you put your height, right? I didn't realise she had a problem with my height. I should have known, because about a week after we got together, I said, do you fancy going to Alton Towers for a day this Saturday? And she's like, what's the point you going? And then after we were married, I came home one day and we just sat down, and she just out of the blue, can I ask you a question? Yeah, what is it? How do you feel about being only 9 inches taller than the largest emperor penguin ever recorded? She had that much time on her hands, she Googled it. Right? She worked in a school at the time, I could deal with it. I used to go and have coffee with her now and again. I went in this one day and she wasn't there, she was in a meeting, and a friend said, do you want to just wait in the staff room and have a coffee? Yeah, I'll go and have a coffee. And I went in, she said, do you want a biscuit? Yeah, I'll have a biscuit. Why don't you pick up a penguin? That's all you we got into watching Strictly last year. I don't know if anybody else watched it, and I was particularly keen to see how Ellie Simmons got on, you know, the Paralympian. Fantastic woman, 5 gold medals. I think she got like 4 at the age of 13, 14, absolutely brilliant. But I just wanted to see how she got on, and I watched that first dance, and I've got to be honest, I just felt a little bit uncomfortable watching her, right? And I was at one end of the settee and Lynn's at the other, and I don't know if anybody saw that first dance, but at the end of it, her partner spun her across the floor, and I started laughing. I'm sorry, I started sniggering, and like Lynn's like, what are you laughing at? I was like, oh, come on, look at that. That doesn't remind you of dwarf tossing, nothing does. And she's like, you shouldn't be laughing at that because that could be you. I said, well, it couldn't, could it? Because I'll never be invited on Strictly. She said, I didn't mean that. She said, I meant the dwarf thing. I said, well, actually, it couldn't, because to qualify as a dwarf, not that you have to qualify, obviously, it's just a genetic thing. A dwarf is classed as somebody who's 58 inches or less. So she said, well, how tall are you? I said, I'm 62 inches. And then she said, but you shrink as you get older. We did celebrate Valentine's Day, and I did the romantic thing this year. I phoned the florist, ordered some flowers. He said, would you like a card with that? I said, yeah, please, yeah. What do you want on the card? I said, I'll just put to Lynn or my love Nick. And then she said, would you like a kiss on the bottom? So I said, that would be brilliant. What time do you want me there? And she's like, no, I meant on the bottom of the card. I said, yeah, I know. I just do comedy. I was just making a joke. And quick as a flash, she said, I bet you don't get many gigs. That's quite harsh, isn't it? Harsh. Well, we have been married 20 years, and we were just chatting the other day, and she said, I think the romance has gone out of our relationship. I said, what do you mean? She said, well, maybe when we're being intimate, it'd be nice to have some music playing, just to break the silence. I thought, well, she's got a fair point, so I took that on board. You've been there, obviously. And the next time we got down to it, I put the first track on, Angels by Robbie Williams. I thought that'll do. That's, you know, they're all thereabouts. I've got to be honest. I think my choice of song number 2, the theme from Match of the Day, spoilt the mood a little bit. And then she said, "There's no surprises." Okay, so I took that on board as well, because I do care about her. The other night she was in the bathroom getting ready. I went into the bedroom, turned the lights off, lit some candles.